So that's what we're doing right now, what I'm doing right now. Looking for bloom. At that time, we'll spray the vines with nutrients, usually magnesium, boron, and zinc. Those are the things we're short in, and if you don't have enough of it, all of those flowers will fall off, or a lot of them will. It's called shatter. So at the beginning of bloom, we put it on, the vines take it up immediately, and they stick. So that's what we're doing right now, what I'm doing. The guys, Rosendo and Juan, are out here trunk suckering. So I'm gonna have them trunk sucker a few vines out here. The suckers you see on these vines, which row do you want to do, Juan? It doesn't matter. So, grapevines throw suckers. This is unwanted growth that serves no purpose.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
So yeah, about 3 weeks, and that is with our full-time crew of 17. So it is a long process for sure, but it is, again, one of those really important things that we do to make sure that our vines are producing really high quality grapes to make our wine. So it's really one of those important things. Just like pruning, just like thinning, these are the things that make the vines cultivated instead of just wild, and that's how we get great grapes to make great wine. So you can see it does take a little while, and again, 110 acres here, plus we have 30 acres down at Pino Hill, so that's another probably week or so to do the suckering down there. So it's a long period of time that they're working on this during this time of year. And so this year we've of course then added that we're grafting some of our vines over to new clones. So that's an additional level of work. So our crew has been working so hard the past 2 months, and well, all the time.
It's year round, Mari.
Yeah, it is year round, but this
right
the
now,
work that you're seeing, yeah, it's really intensive. They've been working really hard, and you can see some of these suckers are growing up higher on the vine. So you have to take care to really see where the growth of the vine is, and then where these little offshoots are growing.
From the vine, the part of the vine we want to produce fruit. We don't take those off, it turns into a tangled mass, cuts down the airflow under the vines, makes a home for the bad bugs. Mealy bugs is one of the things I'm worried about currently. It's a ground crawler, climbs up into the vines and sucks the juice out of the canes. So what the guys are going to do, they're going to come through and they're going to take off all this excess wood. So all the energy from that root system is going here. We're going to be doing the same thing with the grafted vines. They'll push all kinds of suckers. And once a week we'll have to be going through probably and sucker them. So guys, have at it. Soak you out of a little sweat. Once again, this is back work. It's on a hot day, it's no fun at all. We had 80 plus degrees this last week, and I was concerned. We've had 2 years in a row of big crops, and we really don't want another big crop. Doesn't hurt anything. This vineyard's healthy, but I'm out there looking at the vines and seeing how many clusters I'm getting per shoot. As you can see, there are 3 on there, big ones. Indicates to me that we've got another big crop on the way. We'll have to thin heavier than usual this year. We're half the rainfall we normally get.
Yeah.
And we're very late into the season. I did find a little bloom yesterday. Here you go, Juan. We always take off the 3rd cluster. So this cluster here always comes off. It's going to be behind these other 2, and it's more crop than we really want. So I'm out perusing the vineyard, seeing what we've got. So these little guys here, each one of these little pod looking things, they peel up like a banana from the bottom and fall off, and the 4 pistils come out. There's a stamen in the middle, but they're self-pollinating. They really don't need it. And this will all turn into like a yellow, fuzzy looking thing. And those fuzzy things turn into grapes. Bloom, you want the bloom to only go for about 10 days. Last year it went for a month. It was hard. It was cool. The bloom didn't come on evenly and quickly. This year I have uneven vine growth. Some areas were frosted, some areas are just cold, and other areas are going bananas, and they're way ahead. So I think it's going to be a long harvest, slower tonnage harvest per night, probably a 5-week harvest instead of a 4-week harvest, or a 3-week like we had in 17. When I first find bloom, I figure 120 days to harvest.